It began long before I ever stepped into the arena. The path I walk, the struggles I endure, were written in the shadows of history. A tale of strength, knowledge, and sacrifice. A story few are destined to understand. I am ITU, and this is where my story begins. They called me a warrior, a genius, a shadow of the great ones before me. But what they never saw was the struggle, the pain and the battles that shaped me into who I am today. I was born in the house of elders, where tradition and discipline were my first teachers. My every move was studied, my every mistake punished. Perfection was not a goal, it was the only way. As a child, I trained harder than anyone. My staff became an extension of my soul, striking with the precision of a master, yet the fury of a storm. But no matter how much I mastered the art, I always felt like a prisoner, bound by duty, caged by expectations. Then came the day of reckoning. The shadow energy, wild, untamed, coursed through the world, changing everything we knew. I saw warriors fall, friends turn to foes, and enemies rise from the ashes. And I had to make a choice. Follow the path of tradition or forge my own destiny. I walked the path of shadows, not to be consumed by them, but to master them. I became something more than a fighter. I became a force of balance, wielding the power of both light and dark. Now in the arena, I do not fight for glory. I do not fight for honor. I fight to prove that my way, my story is worth remembering. So tell me, are you ready to face me? My story. Very well, but know this truth is a burden. And once you hear it, you cannot turn away. I am ITU, Chancellor of the Heralds, a seeker of knowledge, an ambassador of infinity. While others see only one world, I have seen countless. I have walked through the corridors of time, glimpsed realities beyond imagination, and yet I remain cursed to remember them all. In my youth, I was chosen to inherit the wisdom of the Heralds, an ancient order devoted to the study of shadow energy. I learned quickly, too quickly. My hunger for knowledge was insatiable. I did not seek power. I sought understanding. But understanding is dangerous in the eyes of those who wish to control the truth. I uncovered secrets my masters wished buried. I saw the fragile threads that bound our world together and the dark forces waiting beyond them. And for that they turned against me. Branded a traitor, exiled from the very order I once served. I wandered alone until I found the answer I sought. I am no longer just a warrior. I am a witness to fate itself. My blade Shinkini-Edo is not merely a weapon. It is a key, a conduit through which time bends to my will. While my enemies struggle against the flow of battle, I step outside of it, striking before they even realize they have lost. You may fear shadow energy. You may crave it. But I have seen its beginning and its end. I fight not for vengeance, nor for power. I fight because the truth must not be forgotten. The world does not yet understand what is coming, but I do. And when that moment arrives, I will be ready. Now tell me, are you ready to face the void? You wish to understand my talents. Very well, but know this. Choosing the right path is what separates the weak from the strong. If you seek power from the very beginning, then Shadow Sync is your answer. It fuels my shadow energy the moment battle begins, allowing me to strike before my opponent can even react. A true warrior does not wait. He dominates, but if patience is your weapon, if you prefer to control the battlefield, then Yado Meijutsu will serve you well. Ranged attacks, useless against me. My enemies hesitate knowing their arrows, their projectiles, everything they rely on becomes worthless. And when they falter, I strike Now let's speak of time manipulation, the power that bends fate itself. If you seek absolute control, then paradox will make you untouchable. Time itself shields me, rendering me immune as I move through its flow, perfect for those who see the battle as a game of patience. But if you favor unrelenting offense, then cutting edge ensures that even failure brings destruction. If my space-time slash does not land, the energy burst will still punish my enemy. A relentless attack, leaving no room for mistakes, only devastation. Then comes the true test of skill, quintessence, a talent for those who wield speed and precision. Every strike during time manipulation becomes a critical hit, breaking my enemy's spirit before they even realize they have lost. A perfect tool for those who master the art of the blade. But for those who seek endurance over power, metaphysical calculation grants survival. It allows me to restore health while I focus before unleashing my space-time slash. A wise warrior does not only seek victory, they ensure they live to see it. And then the choice between resilience and pure aggression. If you fight best under pressure, then Ambassador of Infinity will turn the tides for you. And the lower my health, the faster time manipulation charges. A desperate moment for others, an opportunity for me. But if you believe in relentless momentum, then pursuit of excellence is your path. Every successful strike makes me stronger, an unbreakable force of destruction. But beware hesitation. Even a single misstep will reset my power. Only those who never falter can master this path. And now the final choice. Do you favor speed, or do you demand certainty? If you wish to strike again and again, then forget the past is what you seek. It allows me to use space-time slash without fully charging my shadow energy, ensuring my blade is always ready. But for those who value precision over chaos, behold, the future is the answer. If I fully concentrate before my space-time slash, the attack becomes inevitable. No defense, no escape, only the certainty of defeat. And finally, a choice not for myself, but for those who fight beside me. Fate of trickery ensures that my abilities return faster, granting me more time manipulation, and allowing my allies to strike from afar. But for those who wish to empower their team with shadow energy, Fate of Thirst will fuel the battle, allowing all to harness the power of the shadows. So tell me, will you wield my power as an unrelenting force, striking without hesitation? Or will you become a patient hunter, waiting for the perfect moment to turn the tide? Choose wisely, for the path you walk will define your fate. Discipline, precision, a mastery. These are not choices. I was forged in them. My every strike, every movement, is calculated. I do not act on impulse. I see the battle before it begins. My blade Shinkenaido is not just steel. It is an extension of my will. My Kenjutsu is refined. My strikes deliberate. I do not waste effort. When my sword finds its mark, it does not falter. My mastery grants me strength, but my true advantage lies beyond mere technique. Time bends to my command. Others rely on weapons to reach beyond their grasp, but I have no need for such things. Where they throw, I step. Where they aim, I have already moved. I do not simply fight in the present. I control the flow of time itself. With my time manipulation, I dictate the battle. Slowing time allows me to move unhindered, untouchable. My enemies find themselves trapped in their own motions, while I strike with precision. And with paradox and quintessence, my mastery is complete. Damage cannot touch me, and my blade finds only the weakest points, landing with devastating force. Those who rely on distance falter before my Yadome Jutsu. Ranged attacks are nothing but wasted effort. I turn them back upon their wielders, reversing their effects. punishing their attempts. A harpoon thrown. The hunter becomes the hunted. A chain meant to bind. The captor is caged. Even shadow energy bows before my technique, fueling me instead of harming me. But my true power lies in my space-time slash. When my energy surges, I step beyond time itself, dashing through my foes in a single devastating stroke. And with Behold the Future, my cuts are inescapable, a storm of blades that cannot be evaded, only endured. Yet, I am not without limits. There are those who think themselves untouchable, invincible warriors, shielded in light or shadow. Some weapons evade my deflection. Some techniques resist my time-bending strikes. There are those who can vanish in the moment of my attack. Others who can strike before my blade can meet its mark. I acknowledge these truths, but I do not fear them. For in the end, time claims all. And when the battle is over, when the dust settles and the echoes of combat fade, I will stand. Now tell me, do you still believe you can win? Here is my some voices for battlefield. When I am lock, when I selected, when the fight start, when I in void dream, when I win. Do you want more? Here is my different voice in void dream. And that's the story of Witu, the warrior, the master, the timebender. His path has been one of struggle, but his power lies in his ability to shape his own destiny. From mastering his blade to controlling the very flow of time, he stands as a true testament to the strength that comes from knowledge, discipline, and sheer will. If you enjoyed his story and want to see more, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss a moment of action. Until then, keep fighting, keep winning, and always forge your own path.